Hey y'all, so happy February, and all I can think of is just history and love. Isn't that what February is about? So I kind of want to do some story times this month, and I'm trying to think of like some story times of my life. I don't know where I want to start. I don't know if I want to start in my childhood. I don't know if I want to start with just 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't know, but I will just say what's on my mind and then see what comes out of it. Because lately I've been feeling like I've been awakened to another side of myself or another perspective of myself. Sometimes I like to admire myself and learn myself, you know? I know people, and I used to myself, like to learn others, but because I really don't have a significant other and I really don't have too many friends, I can only kind of just learn myself in a way. And then I learn from others with those that I watch and stuff. So yeah. So lately I've been just sitting back and thinking, and I'm like, I feel like every day I kind of like, how do I want to say, it's like I'm extremely thankful for where I am, who I am, what I am, and I feel like I'm in the middle because I know I'm not extremely poor, and then I know I'm not rich. So it made me think like, oh my gosh, am I middle class? Like, that's what it made me think, because growing up, I didn't think I was. Probably because I've seen others that had better. You know, before this social media stuff, it wasn't like I saw what rich people had on MTV Cribs and stuff. I didn't kind of grow up watching that until like my teens. I just dabble and just see, oh, okay, now I can see what people have, but it didn't really affect me because I know they was rich. So I'm thinking like my everyday life growing up, I want to say maybe like middle school or high school, there was people who had like nice houses, and I'm like, wow, that house just looks so nice. You go inside, but then there was some people houses that would go in and they kind of looked a little run down, similar to how I felt about my house growing up. So that's all I really had to compare. So I always thought I was poor because my house was a little run down, and theirs looked so like redone and made over. And then now that I reflect, I'm even grateful I had a house, honestly, until I met people when I started going to the city, and I'm like, oh wow, people live in the city, they gotta live in the projects, they gotta live in apartment buildings, they didn't even grow up with a backyard and stuff like that. So it made me more appreciative for what I did have. And then at the same time, where I grew up, I realized those houses that look so pretty and renovated, it was because over there it was a lot of water damage. One side of the town was like more on land, the other side was more water. So I'm like, oh, these areas has flooded and things has happened, and that's why the houses had to get redone. So it was like I'm seeing the comparison, and it's balancing out my thinking if to say like, wow, you should still be appreciative for what you have, because some of the people had to go through a lot for their house to look nice, and that's the least they can have after probably paying for it or hopefully had house insurance. So I'm like, wow. And then, yeah, now that I think about it, probably was in debt and I didn't know about that stuff. Who knows? They could have went in debt trying to make those houses look nice, or they put it towards the mortgage. And then when I think about that, it makes me think about like how we didn't necessarily have a mortgage growing up. But I think what my grandparents did was, dang, I forgot the name for it. It's like the house was paid off because my great-grandfather paid for the house cash. He paid for the house. He's from the Bronx. They from the Bronx. My family on my grandma's side, they from the Bronx. And he finally got them out the projects, and he bought a house on Long Island and paid cash. So he must have been saving his money. Bought a house. But then I guess after he passed away, my grandparents took out some other type of loan off the house or something they did, and had to live off that. Who knows what happened? I really don't know too much. I know my grandma had medical problems. I know my mom had mental illness problems, and my grandfather worked. So yeah, that's probably why. So no mortgage, but then that loan thing popped up, and that caused, and then, okay, so they go through life with that, and then my mom has kids. She kept having kids. So you added more kids on. Okay, that's a financial problem. And then we're going years like that. And then my grandfather passed away. And now, then it's just my grandmother with 5 grandkids. And she don't work. And got medical problems. So, yeah, that sucks. So that makes me think of that. And, you know, I was young at the time. I was like a teenager. I wish I knew more. Sometimes I wish I could have saved the house, but at the end of the day, it's nothing I can do. It is what it is, like, and I can't be hard on myself about that, you know. It would have been nice, but it is what it is, and I can't beat myself up about it. I try to remind myself that, and I don't know why I be trying to take that burden on, and I cannot take that burden on. But I think I finally did let that go. Speaking about it now, even like I've let that go, that I couldn't save it. I'm not a savior. I just couldn't save it. It is what it is. I was too young. But it just made me want to learn and know about things, and, you know, to prevent that from happening again. And, you know, it kind of felt like a reset. It's like, dang, I have to do what my great-grandfather did all over again. You know, I'm starting out in apartments, and now I have to work and save like he did for years to buy a house. And I would like to buy a house cash. Yeah, so then I don't have to worry about a mortgage. I just pay my taxes, work in, what I do? Pay the water bill, electric bill, heating bill, you know, stuff like that. And I'm starting to learn about house insurance too. I'm trying to learn about that, because who knows what could happen. Or just have money saved, so if things do break or need repair, I would have money for it, you know. But one step at a time, and it'll work out. I could feel it. It'll work out. And that's why another reason, like, I'm not in that mode of like, I gotta make it out the mud and be the first of my family to do this and do that. No, I wouldn't be the first. You know, we've done it. I just want that, you know, I want to do what an ancestor of mine has done. I want to be able to do it too. But it's not about being the first. I just would like to do it too. And then now I know what it takes to keep it, you know. And then what comes along that you just can't, you know, stop, that could cause a loss to it. Like I said, mental illness, a lot of that, addiction, that too. It's like, dang, that can kind of like take what you have worked so hard for away. And having children or too many. The kids is okay, but like, still could have been easier with less. But I'm grateful that we're all here. Yeah, it just has me learning, you know. I'm just reflecting history. Black History Month has me just thinking of my own history as a Black woman. Because when you see me, right, I see a Black woman, right? My afro helps for you to see that. Even though y'all know, like, I gotta look into my ancestry a little more. But when you see me, you see a Black woman. So yeah, it's like, I'm not racing against time. I'm not trying to be the first of anything. I'm just trying to be successful, maybe in my own eyes, of how I've seen my great-grandfather being successful. That's what I thought was successful. Able to have a home, and his daughter, granddaughter, and great-grandchildren was able to live in. That's wonderful, and I'm grateful for how long he was able to be there. And, you know, hopefully I'll do that again for myself, my children, and my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. That'd be wonderful. You know, have them to have somewhere to stay. So yeah, that's about it. You know, that's all that runs through my mind. I'm gonna get to it. I'm not gonna rush. And then I also have to remember, when he was able to accomplish that, he was a little older. To tell you the truth, I think when he got that house, he might have been like 50 years old. Or 60, could have been even 70. I don't really know. If I think about it now, I don't know how old he was, but he definitely was an older man. Cause my mom born? No, he got that house when my grandma was a teenager, and I don't know how old he was when he had kids. So he didn't even be able to get a house for his kids until they were teenagers. Wow. So, but other than that, he did everything else right. He got married. They stayed in the religion and stuff like that. I guess he did the right thing, I guess. You know, of that time and that standard. Nowadays, I don't know. Like, I feel like, do I have to wait? I don't think I have to wait. That's how I'd be telling myself. I don't think I have to wait till I'm married to have a house, get a house. I have me and my family that, you know, I take care of. So if I was to get a house, I guess they'll just be in the house with me. But even though they want to, I know my siblings, they want to adventure into like living on their own and, you know, being self-reliant. I think it's, yeah, self-reliant. I'm like, okay, but you know, that takes big money. That takes big money to be self-reliant. You know, it takes big money. So they working on that. They still young, so they got to figure out what they want to do. But yeah, I think, yeah, do I want to be self-reliant too? I do want to be self-reliant also. You know, after I'm done helping them and raising them. Yeah. But that's all I can think about with that. And then the only thing I could think that helped me, like, stay on the right track was just learning from others, like the bad they had to go through, whether it was addiction, mental illness. I learned what not to do, especially when it comes to having kids. You know, in my young 20s and stuff, I got right on that birth control. I didn't care what nobody was saying. Well, it's bad for you. And guess what? Having a child would be bad for me too. So I got right on that birth control. I didn't trust nothing, just for precaution. Because we're going to use every safety method, every single one. With it, like, I didn't care. But yeah, that helped. What else helped? I didn't date anybody. I told myself, don't be nobody's girlfriend. Don't let anyone be your boyfriend. I kept in mind to stay free. Yeah, and also kept in my mind, no one deserves me. I wrote a poem like that. But it helped me. It helped me like, nah, they don't deserve you. Don't date this person. No, don't get tied down with this person. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad. I really am glad, because now I'm at the appropriate age and at the right mindset to, if I want to be serious, get serious. So, and I've been looking, y'all know that. And it's okay that others may not be ready to, it's just my environment. A lot of people who's in my environment is just not ready for nothing serious, and it's okay. And I'm not going to get angry about it. And I was just watching a girl on YouTube. She talked about that, like, why some people get so angry or something. Because she was like, you can set up a narrative in your mind about how you want something to be and go, and your role in something. And when it don't go your way, you get embarrassed. And I'm like, wow, she's right. Because that's what I have to learn to deal with. How am I going to deal with embarrassment? Like, only example I could think of is I wanted to have nice photos for y'all, and the embarrassment of I can't show y'all, and it didn't go to plan of my narrative of how I wanted it to go. Like, it was my narrative of, for the January, I wanted to have a beautiful birthday, have everything go smooth and wonderful. And I spent it with who I wanted to spend it with. I did everything I wanted to do. And then I was going to have nice photos and then post it and just be happy and be me. And, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So, yeah, that can cause embarrassment. And I'm like, maybe I am embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. But I feel like I've dealt with my embarrassment okay. I didn't get angry, out of character, anything. And everyone's kind of surprised too. Everybody was like, what? You haven't called the person? You haven't yelled at the person? No. Oop, my phone cut off the video because my storage was getting full. But yeah, like I was saying, yeah, I'm learning how to deal with embarrassment. And now that I think about it, yeah, it could have been embarrassing losing my childhood home too. And I dealt with it fine. Now that I reflect on that, I dealt with it fine. Okay, we lost the house. We had to move on. And that was during the pandemic. And it was like during or the beginning of now I'm seeing people lose their homes. And it's like a lot of that is going to happen. And I've been through it, Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't mine. So that's the thing about it. It's like, it wasn't my house. So it really wasn't. So I can't be too caught up on it. But other people is going to be their home. So I feel for them. I feel for them. But you get through it. And it's teaching me like not to have an emotional attachment to like just material things and stuff like that. It's just all I knew. So that's why it was all I knew. But now that I'm like learning more, knowing more, it feels good now. I feel good. I think that might have been one of the greatest lessons I had to go through. It made me want to have more, do more, not be complacent, right? Is that a word? Complacent? Yeah. In that situation, I would have been in that hometown forever. I would have stayed there and not know nothing else. And my little hometown girl just still stuck there. And I'm glad I got to get out. I got out. Like people say they want to get out the hood. I got out of that neighborhood. And I'm kind of grateful, you know. I see the brighter side of it. And I just think about how it's probably, I'm going to move somewhere eventually. I don't know where. Wow. You know, people and myself at times, you can get comfortable somewhere and be afraid. But I'm learning not to be afraid. Because that took a lot. Yo, let me tell y'all, when we had to leave the house, I had to orchestrate everything. I had to like talk to the person who was gonna buy our property. I had to like orchestrate where we was gonna move to. I had to do everything. And sometimes I'm grateful that I have to say God. I have to be grateful that God waited for that situation to happen until I was old enough to understand and make those moves and guide me in the right direction of what to do, because nobody knew what to do. I had no men in the family. Grandfather passed away, my mom not around, my dad is trying to live his life, you know. No shade to that, you know, he just want to live his life. I understand after what he'd been through. So I had to like figure it out. Like, whoa. Sometimes I think like, how did I do it? So, yeah. And I'm still figuring it out. I'm happy, you know, where I am right now is somewhere, you know, for the moment. But then I'm still thinking about where I'm gonna be next. It's on my mind. So, wow. So, yeah. That's one way I could think of how I dealt with embarrassment. It could have been embarrassing. I think I shared those moments anyway. I think I did. Like, if y'all look at some old videos, oh my gosh, this probably is here on YouTube. The first apartment I moved into. Did I upload it here? I think I did and stuff. Those might be nice for me to look back on to see how far I've came. You know, and what I've been through, and then I got to experience what it's like to live in apartments and what you got to deal with living in apartments. And so, yeah. And then, you know, I also have to be grateful. And then I got my family with me while I go through these experiences. You know, sometimes people go through these experiences alone. And I got to be with my family while I go through this. Wow. So, yeah. And I'm just realizing my path and what I'm going through. It kind of can relate to quite a few people. Imagine you're moving from a whole nother country and you're with your family. Like, you know, now I know what that feels like. If you lose a house, I know what that feels like. If you're the one always being relied on or the head of the household, I know what that feels like. Being a woman, I know what that feels like. Not being able to have no men in your life, I know what that feels like. And then having men in my life who was great and helpful, I know what that feels like too. It's like I'm getting a little bit of everything, and I'm kind of grateful. And I like that my experiences is a little bit of everything. Wow, it has its ups and downs, and I kind of, wow, it's getting deep. This is my journey. This is my story. And it's just the beginning. So, hey, this is just one video. I will be back. I got some more to tell because yeah, I'm not gonna force myself, but when it comes to me and memories afloat, I'm gonna share it because I don't know who I could relate to. I might be surprised who I relate to. And then I'm learning from you guys too. Wow. Oh my, it's just, oh, that might make me cry too. Life be lifing, but at the same time, it's beautiful. Wow. I've been having some urges like I want to drink. I want to drink or smoke, but I'm chilling, I'm vibing, I got my water. Sometimes I need to just take it all in and sit in it and not run from it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cause sometimes, like, I don't know if you feel like a high off life, and I don't know how to explain that feeling. I don't know, but yeah, just be feeling like I'm high off life, and then it's like, oh, I need something to take it up a notch. But I'm not. I'm gonna chill right now. I'm gonna chill. I'm a vibe. It's good. I don't need too much right now. I'm gonna just vibe. And yeah. Wow, y'all. Let me go because I've been yapping a while, and my storage gonna get full again. And like I said, this is just the beginning. We got more on the way. I got more to vent about. And yeah, dang, this is like therapy. I probably would cry at therapy like this. She'd be like, the therapist, he'd be like, yeah, let it out. All right, let me go, y'all. But yeah, I'll be back. I'm feeling good. Everything's okay. Like, you know, sometimes you just dwell on the past. You just shed a tear. It's okay. So I'll be back. Yeah, I got videos on the way. Oh, the storage thing. And I realized I backed up storage, and it really don't even got nothing to do with that. It's just the phone. The phone only goes up to 128 gigabytes. And you'll be shocked how quick 128 gigabytes can get used up. That gets used up from maybe just a 40-minute video. I'm like, well, dang. Because I know the phone comes with so many apps. Like, how many apps do I gotta delete? So, yeah, I don't know. That's probably why it would be better to get a camera. But then I would need a laptop to have the connected and get that off the camera with the SIM card and do that and that. When it's easier on the phone, I could just record and upload. But the phone storage just don't got a lot of storage. I'll figure something out soon. But all right, let me go, y'all. Thank you if you watched this. Thank you if you subscribe. Thank you if you like. Thank you if you email me. Thank you. Just thank you. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling okay. I'm grateful. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for even stopping by, for even you just watched it for a little bit. Even the ones who might not even see this ending, I'm grateful for the ones that even tapped it. Hey, thank you. So, you know, because you never know, you might come back into somebody's algorithm later on, or, you know, I don't know. I think as a viewer too, because I watch YouTube. So, yeah. So I'll be back. Yeah, I'm okay though. Like, I don't want nobody worried. I am okay. It's, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry sometimes.